Okay, y'all. Y'all see we back. So now we're gonna be reacting to a teacher confronted by cops after having with an 11-year-old. This is like a crime series thing. So y'all let me know if y'all like these videos more than like me reacting to like funny videos and stuff like that. Y'all let me know. So here we go, y'all.
You know, you are going to be placed under arrest.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you're Allie,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be for predatory criminal sexual assault.
We have the newly released body camera video of the moment a substitute teacher is arrested for having sex with an 11-year-old boy.
Why do people do
Allie
weird?
Barfield admitted to having sex with that
shit.
boy and is now serving prison time. But she wasn't always honest in this investigation, and the body camera video proves that. I'll show you what she told detectives at her front door and how she blamed the victim in this case. We're on the case, presented
you a
by
grown-ass
Law and
woman.
Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
11-year-old? Come on now. Come on now.
Allie Barfield entered a guilty plea for having sex with an 11-year-old student of hers. It is a shocking story, and what's even more shocking is how she tried to play it when detectives arrived at her front door. Before I get to that body camera video, here is Barfield in court in Macon County, Illinois, where all of this took place about 3 hours south of Chicago. This is the hearing where Barfield admitted to abusing her student who is just 11 years old.
Like, girl, you don't
Barfield
get no
wasn't always
dick.
truthful to law enforcement in this investigation.
you don't
This
get
is the
no
body
dick.
camera video of the day that she was
11-year-old
arrested
boy?
in April of last year. Now, part of the audio is redacted, which is why you'll hear it drop out at times.
Okay.
638.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, do it now.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
You know what they here for.
Hey, is Allie home? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's not even her. Why they muting it?
Sheriff's Office, and I'm assisting the Mountain Police Department. How many kids are home?
Bring your ass outside.
Okay, just you guys and the kids? Okay.
And
Bring your
someone
ass
else.
outside, bitch.
Yes, my brother. My brother.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the thing. We have a search warrant for the house, okay? You know, you are going to be placed under arrest.
Y'all is.
You're Allie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be for predatory criminal sexual assault too.
Look, she breathing hard. That ain't me. That's David video.
Grooming. Okay, so that's why we're here, to take a look, to make sure we gather what we need out of the house.
Just
okay?
lock her ass up.
For
already.
what?
Yeah, so I'll talk to you more about it in a
Bitch,
second.
why
Okay.
Why is you being dumb? You know what the fuck you did. You know what you did. Why you acting shy? Huh? She breathing mad heavy. Like, look how she breathing. Look how shorty breathing, holding her neck.
Okay, so that's why we're here, to take a look, to
She's
make sure
sick.
we gather what we need out of the house, okay?
For what?
Yeah, so I'll talk to you more about it here in a second, okay? As a matter of fact, if you guys want to go in and start doing that.
Can I put the dogs up?
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
please.
We're going to have to follow you in, though,
Yeah.
just to make sure, okay? You have yeah.
One's a German Shepherd, so
Okay. James, you want to stay
Everything,
here?
what dog
So you
it
can
is?
see
Put that shit
Barfield
up.
acting confused and shocked as to why detectives are at her door accusing her of
She know
sexual
why.
abuse and grooming. This is going on around 4:30 in the afternoon on April 3rd, 2024. The day prior, detectives say an 11-year-old came to the police station with his parents saying Barfield, his 6th grade teacher, sexually assaulted him. Barfield worked in the Decatur, Illinois school system. She was considered a long-term substitute teacher for the 6th grade class. She gave off the fun teacher vibes on social media. Here she is on TikTok with a young girl. Now, hours before her arrest, police say the 11-year-old boy did an interview with a specialist to talk about the abuse. Deputies also collected a sexual assault kit from the victim. Now, here's more of what the detective told Barfield at her front door door when she was arrested.
I'm going to explain some things to you, okay? First off, I have to read your rights, okay, so that I can talk to you. Okay?
Read
You have
them.
the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can or will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford one will be appointed to represent you
This shit
free of any
happened
cost
last
to you.
year.
Do you understand
Yeah.
that? Okay. Have you ever been in trouble before? Never. Okay. I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain, but long story short is, okay, we've got a significant amount of evidence to include the conversation that you had with.
According to the court documents we have, at her front door, Bardfield denied having sex with the boy. The audio is
so
redacted at
embarrassing.
that point, but you
And
heard
then
the detectives say they had a
family is there.
considerable amount of evidence, including a conversation that Bardfield had. Now, he's likely talking about the conversation Bardfield had with the boy earlier that day, just hours before all of this happened, after his forensic interview. Police say that they and the boy's parents were listening in on a text, a voice call, and a FaceTime that Bardfield had with the young boy. They say during those conversations, Bardfield talked about birth control and pregnancy. She also told the boy to delete text messages, and then they moved on to a phone call. And during that call, Bardfield told the boy that she could not get pregnant. She is talking with an 11-year-old. She is in her 30s.
A whole
now, police say
child.
on March 29th, 2024,
She 30? Bitch, you look at least 50.
Barfield had that 6th grade
At
student,
least
her
50.
victim, over to her house. It was for a play date. That child's mom noticed her son acting differently after the visit, though. According to police, the mom then checked her son's phone and social media, and when they talked more about what happened, the boy said that Bardfield had sex with him. Not only did Bardfield reportedly have sex with that boy, she also sent him $700 on Cash App. She bought him headphones that go for more than $400. She also
was
sent
tricking.
nude photos to him on Snapchat. Here's the moment.
Now you know better. As a grown-ass woman, you should know better. Like, come on now. Come on now. You a grown-ass woman. Why you can't find a nigga that's your age? An 11-year-old boy is wild. Like, you don't get none.
Bardfield is led away.
That's
After this
not
story
funny.
gets even more
Like,
shocking.
that's really funny.
I'm
you
gonna talk to her
taking
real
my
quick, and
kids?
she'll be able to talk to. No, I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
about
everybody
that.
gotta go.
So that lady is.
Because you want to
Oh
be
my God.
dirty.
No, but listen. She's a PCFS. It doesn't mean she's taking your kids. Okay.
Make a nice five show us secure out here.
We are going to give you
Why shorty not in handcuffs?
how you raise your kids and what goes on.
Why?
You're my life.
Like, why is she not in handcuffs? I'm confused.
Sit in the back because I want to be out of the wind and air. Okay? And I'm going to have you have a seat in this second vehicle here.
Showing registered 56 and a half, 10,300.
Now, I ain't gonna throw the race card out there, but I feel like if it was a black woman, they would have had like a whole SWAT team pulled up. Like, they talking to her. She not handcuffed. She walking freely to the car. Like, what?
OP revoked.
It don't even matter. The bitch going to
This
jail.
right up here.
And she getting the passenger seat.
You good, buddy?
Come on now. So y'all don't see her as a threat?
Okay. You work at Hope.
Don't like sharing your pint? Then
No,
share the new
bitch.
Scoopapalooza.
I don't like sharing watching ads. Like,
Police vehicle to talk to detectives. The audio is redacted, but according to
Why?
court documents that we have, this is what she said. At first, she once again denied having sex with the boy, but then the detective said he had seen the nude pictures that she sent the boy on Snapchat. And when asked why she would send nude photographs, a teacher in her 30s, to a boy just 11 years old, she said, quote, "He kept asking and asking and asking and wouldn't leave me
Bitch, you
alone."
sound dumb.
The document also states that the victim had sent the teacher explicit pictures. Well, if you ever notice how some habits just sneak into your day without you even realizing it, for a lot of people, that means reaching for something on autopilot because you're stressed or run down, even though you know it's not good for you, which is why I want to tell you about
I
our
knew it was
sponsor,
a fucking
Fume. It's an
ad.
award-winning flavored air device that is great.
I don't
It's about replacing
care.
magnetic fish are tons of flavors. Now's the time. For the station inside the cruiser, that police are laying out the evidence they have against her. And you can see her put her head in her hands as she realizes what her fate is likely going to be. It is notable that Bardfield tried multiple times to say that the boy made advances on her, that all of this was the 11-year-old's fault.
Impossible.
At the end of this part of the
Grown as
conversation, Bardfield, according to court documents, was asked about how she was feeling. And she replies, quote, "I have my criminal justice degree. I'm in my master's program. This isn't how I want my life to be.
Well,
but
that's exactly
I
how
didn't
it's
want
gonna
the
be."
victim to feel uncomfortable as I felt uncomfortable. But I was just trying to act like nothing happened and just be there for him." At the end of the conversation,
There's no way like an 11-year-old boy is finna advance himself to a 30-year-old woman. Like, that's how you say it? Advance himself? Anyway, ain't no 11-year-old boy finna try and scoop no 30-year-old grown-ass woman. Like, and you could easily, like, just shoot him off. Like, little boy, I'm too grown. Like, stop playing with me. You just kept it going. You sending pictures and shit. Like,
in the cruiser, police say that Bardfield threatened to take her own life. She was then handcuffed and taken to the county jail. And from that moment on, Bardfield was held without bond. Per WAND TV, here's the moment the judge at her first court appearance told her what the punishment could be for the charges that she faced.
It's a Class X felony, punishable by 6 to 60 years in the Department of Corrections.
give us 60.
That would be served at 85%, followed by a mandatory supervised release of 3 years up to natural life and up to a $25,000 fine. It is not a probation eligible offense. And
No
if
probation.
convicted, you would have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your natural life.
Then in August of this year, Bardfield pleaded guilty to having sex with that boy. The state is now asking for a max 40 years in prison in this plea deal, opposed to the 60 years that she could have faced if found guilty at trial. As far as the Decatur Public School District, where Bardfield worked, I reached out for comment in the wake of her guilty plea. They told me since they weren't a party in that criminal case, they wouldn't comment. They did fire Bardfield after her arrest. The victim and his family, though, are suing the school district, and they claim what happened was not an isolated incident. I spoke to Asim Cunningham, who's representing the family, and this is what he said about his lawsuit.
What they really, really want to take place, though, is that other kids and other families who may have been a victim of this woman's acts to feel confident that if they come forward, that we can, hold the school district accountable for the lack of supervision that resulted in Ms. Bardfield being able to commit these acts.
And does the family believe that there are more victims of Allie Bardfield?
It gotta be.
I can't speak for the family directly. There has been information that has come to light, some of which has been put into the complaint against the school district.
Yeah, because if you did it one time, you just got caught doing it
leads us
this
to believe
time.
that there may be more victims of Miss Bardfield, and there are likely more victims of abuse and harassment by faculty in the Decatur public school system against students.
When Bardfield was arrested, she said, according to court documents, that no other people would be coming forward saying that she sexually abused them. It's important to remember when she was confronted with these allegations, it wasn't until detectives laid out their evidence that she admitted what she was saying originally was a lie. She'll be sentenced on September 25th. Joining us now to talk about this is prosecutor and former Deputy Attorney General of Ohio, Mark Weaver. Thank you as always for being with us on Law and Crime. If you were a prosecutor on this case and you watched that body cam video of Allie Bardfield, what would stand out to you?
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them.
We don't care.
Good body cam footage. We can see exactly what happened. The sheriff's deputies were extremely professional in the way they executed the search warrant. She gave it up pretty quickly. She told the truth pretty quickly.
I gave it up quickly.
Initially, she denied having sex with this
she
child.
She sure did give it up quickly.
But pretty soon when they let her know that they had recorded calls, they had text messages, there's a great case here. I wish all of the sex cases that I prosecute had as much evidence as this one. This is a pretty airtight case.
Because when you look at, she'll be sentenced later this month, and in the beginning, and we watch it now in hindsight, knowing the evidence that prosecutors and detectives had in this case, and there was a lot. And she initially is like, well, I've never been in trouble. Like my house, me, you know, and then she, after that, seems to almost blame the victim a bit, saying that he was the one who wanted explicit messages, which, like, we're talking about an 11-year-old. You know, it's just, it's so hard to wrap your mind around. How could those statements made back in 2024 impact how a judge goes forward with whether accepting this plea deal and giving her the maximum, which I believe the state is asking for 40 years?
Yeah, the top end is 40 years. It could have been 60 years, depending on whether some of these counts would have merged and how many different sexual encounters there were. A jury would have hated her when they found out that she essentially claimed that this child, this 11-year-old little boy, a 6th grader, was somehow the instigator. A judge won't like that either. I'm going to guess that her defense lawyer is going to coach her up ahead of the sentencing, have her come in there and reel back in any notion that this was the child's fault. But this is what we see with some of these sex predators. They don't see that what they're doing is wrong. They're just acting
be put
out
on
their
that
fantasies.
website.
They're being the person they want to be.
Registry
and mind you,
website?
she's got a degree in criminal justice and is working on a master's degree. So the notion that she doesn't know
that
somehow
shit out the window.
that this is illegal is preposterous.
It really is, and preposterous is a good word, because just reading through the court documents and the affidavit, and you see some of the statements she's making, and you're just like, what planet are you living on? And frankly, just hearing it, like, and even the line where she talked about having a criminal justice degree, and she's like, I just wanted to make him feel comfortable, or something on those lines, and you're like, what?
By smashing him?
You know, just as far as not from the legal standpoint, you're like, what are you talking about? When it comes to that hearing, and if she does give this emotional, you know, statement in front of the court, how could that impact what the judge decides? Because often, I mean, I see those hearings and the judge, it looks like he looks over something for maybe a couple minutes and then makes his decision. I mean, is there what impact could a statement from her, even if it's really good, have on what her sentence could be?
I've been in front of a lot of judges sentencing a lot of sex offenders over the years. And these judges typically come into the sentencing hearing with their mind made up. They have written out the words they have to say in order to make sure that the sentence sticks. And occasionally something a victim says or something the defendant says, you'll see the judge adjust it, reach over with a pen and maybe scratch something out or maybe fill in a blank. But most judges are ready with an idea of what they want to do before they even set foot, and then only in these marginal cases do they change it. Judges are also really good at seeing through sort of courtroom conversions, right? When you read what she said she admitted to, and when you watch the footage of the warrant call the police did, that's when you see the real person. The person in court has been, you know, properly dressed and properly coached and is reading from a script. Good judges know that the way the defendant appears in court is often a put on.
So she'll end up, you know, 20 years off of what she could have received as the max if she was found guilty if she took this to trial. I mean, just reading through the court documents of all the evidence, I mean, just even extending explicit pictures, which police have,
be getting out when she
to an 11-year-old boy. Why make a deal when it seems like you would have had her dead to rights if you were a prosecutor?
In nearly every case where a prosecutor pleads a child sex case out,
she's going to be 70
two
years
basic
old.
reasons. One is certainty of conviction, which I think would have been present here anyway. But more importantly,
you really ain't gonna get no
not
dick
making
now.
an 11, he's probably 12-year-old boy soon, sit in a witness stand
really
in front of a
ain't gonna
bunch
get
of
none now.
strangers and say what happened in the most embarrassing thing in his life. You're always trying to protect the child from re-victimization. And that's a key thing. This woman is not going to get 40 years. And I'm not suggesting what she did was good. I've prosecuted all sorts of people who molested children all the way down to as young as 2 years old. And given this circumstance, the judge will not send her for 40. She will get 10 or 15. I don't know the judge. But that would be more typical for a one-victim child sex offender like this woman.
It should not matter.
Even if it's one where because I'm sure for people, I mean, that's what it's been reported, that it was like a max of 40 years, and the judge goes down to 10. I mean, what impact could the fact that she was a teacher, you know, she's given this position of power to, you know, and anybody who is an adult who's accused of these crimes or convicted of these crimes, I mean, they had a position of power over a child, but I mean, she was an educator, she did it. How does that factor into how some of these cases play out in terms of the sentencing?
Yeah, Chris, I want to be clear. I'm certainly hoping she gets a longer sentence. I've just observed enough of these over the years, and the judges have as well. I prosecuted a child sex offender a year or two ago who had sex with his girlfriend's young daughter every day over several months, 7 days a week over several months. And he got 32 years, 34 years. I'm just comparing that there are degrees of sex offenders out there. But
they
your
need
point
to get
is well
life.
taken.
Like,
somebody who has sex with an 11-year-old should go to prison, and a teacher who has sex with an 11-year-old should go to prison for even longer. She has a special responsibility to not victimize these children who the parents placed in her care.
Right, and that's the part of it too, where it just seems like it was this. It's this
when I
facade.
had my kids,
She's a teacher,
homeschool.
and then there was this play date because she had children in her house. It's so hard to comprehend, especially when it's a teacher or someone like that. And I had great teachers. I think we all have, but then there's just so many of these cases that come up. In your career, what have you seen as far as trying to understand why some of these people will cross a line and frankly blast right past through a line where they're a teacher and then suddenly they're in a situation like Allie Barfield?
How long
Part of it is technology. Evil has always been with us since the fall of mankind. So evil's always been around, but the technology allows that evil to permeate in a way it didn't 50 years ago. So when I was a kid, or when you were a kid, a big moment would be running into your teacher at the grocery store. Like that would be the contact you have. You'd see the teacher in school, and then once in a while you'd see him out in the real world. Now with Snapchat, which she said she was using, and all these other social processes,
that's all I care
whatever
about.
Illinois does to regulate schools like this.
Stereotype that has been out there for a long time of when someone thinks of what a sexual predator actually looks like.
Yeah, there's not a profile that's going to help parents at all, but you are right that there are instances of we call them good guy predators, people who are otherwise nice and kind to your children. Problem.
Imagine being able to build an app with your...
If they don't tell me how much they sentence this bitch.
Ways for the dumbest things, right? And so they only need one juror. The defense only needs one juror to say it wasn't, it was molestation. But in her mind, I'm sure she thought she was doing something that was perfectly okay, notwithstanding the fact that she has a degree in criminal justice and the law says it's illegal.
And we had covered this story before. I had not read the part yet that she had a degree in criminal justice, which made this even more hard to make it more shocking than it already was, but that's definitely part of it. Mark Weaver, it's always great to have you on Law and Crime. Thanks for helping break this down for us. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify.
I'm not subscribing to shit. Because why y'all ain't tell us how much she got? Anyways, that's the end of this reaction video, y'all. Yeah. Make sure y'all stay safe out there. And keep y'all kids safe as well. Alright, y'all. I might be doing one last one. And then that'll be the end for tonight. So, yeah. Later, y'all.